What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy LAJ back at it again with another video, another live show. Today's show, if you are a Dodger fan and you don't like hearing bad things, you don't like that negativity, you don't like how sometimes I just snap and pop off, today's episode's not going to be fun. But we got to talk about it. As you can see, I'm rocking the LA Champs hat, man. This is a team that went in drought, one of the worst episodes. I mean, 7 years of torture. And the first opportunity they get back into the playoffs, they win it all. The Dodgers, on the other hand, they've had 8 consecutive opportunities with Greinke, Kershaw at their peak. Cody Bellinger, up and rising Rookie of the Year, All-Star, MVP. We've had rookies randomly just roll up out of the farm system, fresh out of the farm system, contribute back to back. Buehler, May, Gonzalez, you name it. Best farm system, best rotation, best bullpen, power. You got Max Muncy hitting 35 home runs. You got Jock Peterson who could also hit 30. You got everybody in the lineup who can hit 290 or better. And what are they doing in the postseason versus the Atlanta Braves? There's a lot of people out there that think the Braves are just that good, but to me, honestly, they're overrated. But with that being said, I want to bring on the guest, the man of the hour, the man that's seen many championships, who's seen the struggle, who's been through the struggle, just like all of us, but he's been in LA for the longest. Mike, how you doing?
Oh, man. I'm trying to keep hope alive, Jay. Trying to keep it going. Trying to stay optimistic, but it doesn't look good.
Yep.
You know, I mean, we have a big game today, and we're going to face their bullpen. It's a bullpen game for the Braves.
Yep.
Dustin May's pitching for us. But we're going to have to hit the ball. We're going to have to pick up what us old-timers used to say. We got to pick up our skirts and play some baseball.
There's no crying in baseball either.
Yeah, so that's an old saying, and I hope I didn't offend anybody by that.
But that's before, to be honest with you, I never heard that one before. You got to pick up your skirts and play.
When we used to play ball, if we're losing, we'd say, "Hey, let's pick up our skirts and get ready and get it done."
Man up. I hear you.
Man up. The Dodgers going to have to pick up their skirts, hit the ball, and do what it takes, you know, to give our pitchers a lead. Last night, I felt bad for Clayton Kershaw.
Okay.
You know, I know he's had his problems in the playoffs, but he did his job. He He held them down almost through 6 innings. Gave up three runs. I think it's 4 earned after because he left somebody on base.
Yeah.
But you know, Robert's seen the story. He knows the deal. He saw the home run go out. And then he saw the doubles, and then right away he should have had somebody he should have known. But, you know, I mean, you sit there and you hope and you pray and you just think, oh, this guy's going to do it. Well, you've seen it. It's a rerun. Mm-hmm. So you should have been ready. Yep. Somebody should have been up in the bullpen. And before even that, they should have scored some runs.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Yep.
I mean, the manager is supposed to try to manufacture runs. If your team is slumping, hey, lay down a bunt. Do something different. Why is AJ Pollock sitting on the bench? He's your best hitter going into this series. He was red hot. I know Peterson had 4 hits the night before, something like that. Peterson was doing really well. But hey, if you feel that you're going to put Peterson in for Pollock, sit down someone who's struggling. Sit down the MVP in center field. This kid has done nothing.
Blasphemy. You know, you know that everybody's going to be, why are you sitting Cody Bellinger? You already know you're going to hear that.
Well, you know what? It's a safe move to put him out there.
Absolutely.
It's a safe move. Say, okay, I'm going to put the former MVP out there. He's struggling a little bit, but I'm going to put, hey, you got to have balls in this game.
Yep.
You got to take a risk in order to get something. Risk and reward. And trust your eyes, not the numbers, your eyes. And what I saw is something that we've discussed in previous shows in reference to Bellinger creeping up on the plate. He backed off the plate on the series before against San Diego. He gave himself about a foot. maybe a foot and a half off the plate. And he was able to extend his arms and he was able to get on top of the ball. If you watched his at-bats last night, he's all over the plate.
Yeah.
He's completely crowding the plate. And that's why he's striking out. That's why he looks sick swinging the bat. Hell, I could swing the bat at 62 years old better than Cody Bellinger did last night. I shit you not. And that's what really pisses me off about, look, I'm not a Dave Roberts fan. I haven't been. I've taken a lot of heat from my friends about Dave Roberts, but I'm just not a fan. I think anybody could do a scorecard lineup with the talent they have on that team. You could friggin', just put the lineup and just say, here, go play. But playoff baseball, regular season is one thing. Playoff baseball is do or die.
Yeah.
So we will see tonight's lineup. I haven't seen it yet.
It's the same. It's literally the same thing that you've been seeing every single day, where you have Max Muncy in the cleanup. So it's still Mookie, Seager, Turner, Muncy, Will Smith. Those are your 5, and then you have Cody Bellinger. Those are your 6. It's literally the same thing that we've been seeing. Jock Peterson might be the only difference, and Chris
Pollock
Taylor.
in the lineup, or is he sitting down?
Not in the lineup. Pollock is not in the lineup. So, look, I've been hating on Kershaw since 2016, since that Game 5 destruction. But then now I'm seeing it as Don Mattingly, first off, burned the hell out of him. He had him every single game out there throwing a complete game, burning his ass off.
Right.
And whenever Mattingly went out there, Kershaw told him, no, I'm not getting out. He stepped up to Mattingly, and Mattingly always pussed out. Right. Now you have Dave Roberts, who I expect him to have a little bit more aggressiveness towards that. He kind of did sometimes here and there, but we saw, what game was it? Was it against San Diego, or was it against the Brewers where Kershaw?
It was a Brewers when Kershaw told him just stay in the dugout. I'm staying on the mound.
Okay, see, and this is a problem that I'm having and why I'm blaming Kershaw. Kenley Jensen also had this. There's been plenty of times on record, post-game interviews, where Kenley Jensen has said, today I just didn't feel it. I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel healthy. And he goes out there and fucks up a game.
Right.
We're supposed to forgive him. I get it. I understand. They're real human. It happens. But if you don't feel healthy enough, you don't feel comfortable enough and confident to do your job, why are you out there even in the first place? That's for Kenley. For Kershaw, this is both on him and on Dave Roberts. And on Dave Roberts even more so, because Dave Roberts has seen Kershaw choke multiple times, even before
time and time again. Yeah.
Before he became a Dodger manager, this was Kershaw's thing. Postseason choke artist. That's his thing. Before Dave Roberts came in, Dave Roberts knew Kershaw had back spasms 3 days ago.
Right.
And he still pushed him to 6 innings.
Last night, the ball was hit over his head on a chopper. He jumps up and falls on his back.
Jesus Christ.
Immediately after that, they get the hits because he re-injured his back.
How stupid is Dave
when I saw that, I said, oh, he needs to go out there and check on him.
Yep.
Nobody checked on him.
That's where
nobody went out.
That's where
nobody went out and checked on him. See, that's why you need a manager who has the balls and experience and playoff experience. And like Dave Roberts is probably a hell of a nice guy. I don't know him. I just see him on interviews or whatever, but he is not a leader. You need a leader. Why did the Lakers win the championship? Because LeBron James is a leader. Mm-hmm. Frank Vogel gave him the defensive friggin' schemes.
Yep.
And they played as a team.
Yep.
This Dodger team is full of stars without a leader.
Mm-hmm.
Now they brought one of the best players in baseball. They signed him to 12 years, give him a boatload of money, and now he's probably looking around going, oh shit, what the hell did I do?
Well, I mean, it wasn't any better in Boston. So I can't really.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
opportunities were out there.
The opportunities were out there.
Yeah.
But he comes to LA and now he's thinking, wow, these guys, I'm it. I'm the leader.
Yep. Which is it isn't a bad thing. I mean, he came in.
No, I like Mookie Betts.
Yeah,
I'm wearing his jersey right now. This is a Mookie Betts jersey. But the thing is, he's now going to take that role of leadership, and he struggled a little. He has struggled this
Yeah.
series. Couple walks, fly outs. He's not scoring up on the ball. Couple of these guys are, Turner's not scoring up on the ball, and Bellinger looks lost. When is the last time? Can you remember, Jay? I know you're a young man, but can you remember the former MVP of the league dropped down to the 6th slot on a baseball team?
Damn, once you reach the bottom of the lineup like that, you're already like getting forgotten as a good hitter.
Right.
So
You're an
pretty much,
afterthought.
yeah, you're pretty much
6,
hope.
you're hoping 6 will do something, 7, 8, and in this team, you have Mac Muncy batting in the 4th slot, and he was struggling.
Yeah.
And he has a couple home runs, in that rally game in the second game. But, Bellinger's supposed to be your guy, right?
Yep.
Has he signed that big contract yet? No.
No. But he's getting paid pretty well. I mean, for winning the MVP and doing what he did last year, he's getting paid very nicely.
Yeah, but he hasn't signed that big contract yet. So, Look, the way I see it, and the way I look at this game tonight, I think the Dodgers will win tonight. It's not tonight's game that's I'm gonna be worried about.
It's tomorrow.
Of course, I don't want to lose tonight, but I have confidence myself that we will win tonight. It's tomorrow.
Yep.
And the day after to win, to get the best out of 7, because then we're gonna face their best pitching
again
tomorrow.
Yep. We're
Tomorrow
starting again with Anderson and Fried. So
Fried's a beast.
They struggled against a rookie pitcher yesterday. They straight up struggled against a rookie pitcher yesterday.
Well, Wilson is a professional baseball player, but here's the problem too. When you face a kid that has no resume, you don't know what he's throwing. Yep. You only know on film. You've never faced him before.
No one really has anything on anybody this year. Everybody has to just go off statistics and go off film and see what their weaknesses are. Hopefully that hits, because no one face each other in this. Like the Rays didn't face off the Astros, and somehow the Astros are figuring them out. They're starting to rally up, but the Dodgers didn't
first
face
and
the
second
Braves,
no outs.
But I think the Dodgers just went into this series thinking, we're the Dodgers. We have Mookie Betts. We have the former reigning MVP, Cody Bellinger. We have hitting. We have the bullpen, the best bullpen, ERA, all that stuff. They came in here thinking they're hot shit. Then they got slapped in the mouth game 1. Game 2, they rally up a little bit. Then game 3, they slap right back. But then game 4 happens, and all of a sudden they disappear again. And we're in this situation where now we're looking to see who's at fault. And in reality, it's everybody's fault. The bullpen has been straight up shit. The starting pitching has been decent. Julio Urias is a very good exception as to why they did very well in game 3. But Dave Roberts doesn't know how to manage shit. I mean, is there a person in this planet that is not blind that can definitely say? I even remember 2017 Game 2 World Series. The dumbest person in the fucking world, Donald Trump, went on Twitter and asked, why did you pull Rich Hill? If you have the most stupidest person in the world asking, why did you pull Rich Hill?
Right.
Doesn't that automatically make you think, wait a minute.
A light bulb should have went off. A light should have went off in his head.
Wait a minute. You have someone who is like the dumbest person asking a smart question. And that's when it starts becoming a reality where you realize, okay, the problem might not be the players, but the coaching. Because if you pull Rich Hill in 2017 and you leave him out there, they're probably winning game 2. 2019, you leave Kershaw out there, and he gets destroyed by the 2 players that have been stopped by Adam Kolarek. But he opts to going to Kershaw, sticking with him. Why? Because he wants that Cinderella story. Time and time again, I said it before. He wants a Cinderella story for every single player that fucks up. So best believe if the Dodgers do make it to 7, I can guarantee you Kershaw's coming out of the bullpen so he can prove everybody wrong. And it's either going to implode in everybody's face or it's going to work out nice. But we're not going to forget that he left them out there to die for 6 innings. Kershaw was great through 5. Great. Back spasm, come on. You're not going to just have back problems. throw 5 great innings in the National League Championship Series against a great hitting team. No one can do that. Kershaw did through 5, and then Dave Roberts said, we're gonna push him. I'm gonna leave him out there. I know he fell on his back, but nah, we're good. He's gonna be all right.
That should have been a telltale. Hey, the Astros just took the lead.
Son of a bitch.
You know, if the Astros win the World Series this year,
fuck my life.
They're gonna have to fire Dave Roberts and blow the team up.
Oh my God.
You know, I mean, you know, this would be unforgivable for. You know, I mean, look, it's been 32 years since the Dodgers won the World Series, and you know, it's been a long 32 years, and they've done a great job with their farm system. Yep. They've done a great job getting talent.
Yep.
You just need someone to put it all together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, earlier today on my Facebook page, I put a picture of Tommy Lasorda
with Mike Sosa.
Tuesday just hit a double.
These bastards are cheating. I'm telling you, these bastards are cheating.
And he scored a run, so it's 3-1 Houston.
Damn, so, they're going to 6.
Yeah. So I put it. Yeah, you saw it with Mike Sosa.
Yeah.
Mike Sosa was groomed to manage the Dodgers. That was Lasorda's dream. He wanted Mike Sosa to take over the helm for Tommy when he retired. Mm-hmm. That was the plan.
Yep.
And then Fox bought the Dodgers, and the rest is history.
My God.
There's a lot of players, former Dodgers, who have World Series rings other than being a Dodger in the coaching realm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because they all learned the game from Tommy. And we don't have that lineage. We don't have that person that we could go back to and think, oh, that's the guy who taught us how to do this. This is how baseball. Look, someone else wrote, watching the comments on that post I put up, a young lady put something like, everyone uses numbers, and it's not just a number. It's more than that. Dusty Baker came out the other night, analytics. Dusty Baker came out the other night, and Greinke was pitching. And Greinke struggled a little bit, and he was talking to Greinke. And he said, and then Greinke ended up winning the game for the Astros. And he came back, he goes, it's just something that you know, that you could see in the guy's eyes. So it's not just the numbers. The analytics are probably saying to pull Greinke, he's hit a wall, but he saw something. Okay, you know, you could sit in the dugout on your hands with your little pad and your pencil all you want. You got to know your players, and you got to know what's going on in situation. You got to have a feel for the game.
You can see fear and you can see stress in a player's face. When someone doesn't have it, you can see it.
Oh yeah, you could see. Look through. There's an old saying: "Your eyes are your mirror to your soul." So when I always I taught my kids, when you speak to someone, you look them straight in the eye, talk to them, so you know what's going on, and that's the whole thing when being the manager. Look, man, you know, not to pull my chain, I've played, coached, and managed on over 50 teams, winning teams, championship teams. Think about that, Jay. 50. Yeah. And my sons, they laugh at it. And the last one I won was about 10 years ago. It was about 52, won a softball championship. But the thing is this. The secret to winning is very easy. You put people in a position to do their very best. And know their limitations. Know what they're capable of. And then let them achieve it. And then when they achieve it, then you pull them back. So you don't, like, for example, Kershaw, like you said, he pitched a great 5 innings. And then when he fell, someone should have went out there and see if he was okay.
Yeah.
And then immediately, someone should have been up in that bullpen. But they didn't. They waited. Oh, he'll be fine. He's a tough guy. He's at home. He's only a few minutes, 20 miles away from the stadium there. He's going to do it for his home crowd. Fuck all that bullshit. This guy fell and tweaked his back.
Yep.
And it was evident after the next few batters. It's that simple. Hey, it's not rocket science. So the Dodgers, like I said, they'll win tonight. They will win tonight, but the next two games over the weekend are going to be a crapshoot.
Somebody in our comments, Mike Ornella said he'd switch Muncy for Betts, or Muncy with Betts, so Muncy would be leadoff and Betts would be in the 4 hole. I don't think that would help out much because Betts hasn't been that well either.
Well,
you need speed on base. You need speed. Like
Muncy has been a leadoff hitter. Muncy has a good eye for the strike zone, and he's not really slow.
Yeah, no.
At this point, I would leave the lineup I would just plug in Pollock somewhere. Is Edwin Rios DHing tonight? I haven't even looked
No,
at
it's not
lineup.
Rios.
Who's the DH?
The lineup is Betts leading off, Seager behind him, Turner, Muncy in the 4 hole, cleanup. Will Smith behind him, Bellinger, Pollock.
They dropped Bellinger. Pollock is in there?
Yeah, Pollock is hitting 7th, and then Jock Peterson hitting 8th, and then Chris Taylor all the way at the bottom 9th. I think, honestly, like, the only one that's really producing is Corey Seager. He's the only one that's really actually
Who's
producing.
catching tonight?
And Jock Peterson. Will Smith.
He's in the 5th slot?
He's in the 5th slot, yeah.
Good. That's a good slot for him. That'll produce some runs. That should produce some runs. That lineup right there should produce some runs.
Jock Peterson and Corey Seager are the best hitters right now for the Dodgers.
Well, Jock Peterson is, we have playoff Rondo, we have playoff Peterson.
We do. Yeah, we do. He sucks
Peterson
ass in the regular season and in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, he's a beast in the playoffs.
Yeah, he is.
That's a good lineup to have. I mean,
get out of here.
Well, his on-base percentage is what you want to look at.
Yeah.
But he comes clutch. He comes in through in the clutch. Last night he hit the ball pretty good to the warning track.
See, and that's the thing too. It was windy as hell. Like it was windy. Why was the
Corona?
The what?
They didn't want to close the stadium up because of the virus.
What?
You close the stadium up, now you're enclosed.
Yeah. I mean,
that's why they left the roof open, and that's why it was so windy.
Well, I mean, I guess, but that's on Manfred for wanting to have fans in the stands. I mean, you're putting more at risk.
Both teams had the problem.
Yeah, there was dirt in Acuna's eye. There was dirt in Freddie Freeman's eye. I remember they were putting eye drops while they were at first base. I saw that. Yeah, so there was really no excuses for the Dodgers, but in reality, like, these Dodgers, they came in as favorites again.
Right.
And
here we had the best record in baseball. That's the best record in baseball doesn't always reflect who's going to win the playoffs.
Yeah. The only exception is the Lakers. The only exception is the Lakers.
This is a different game. The Lakers basketball is passion and physical.
Yeah.
And you could will yourself to win. In basketball, you could will yourself to win. That's why the Lakers won. They willed themselves. They were more physical. They were, in baseball, it's a whole different game. You have to motivate your players. You got to get these guys able to really perform and do whatever it takes to win, and that football's different also. Football's a game of
that's physicality.
Yeah, you're real physical in football, but in baseball you have strategy and you got to have these guys do certain things. So like I said, Jay, I think tonight we will win. I really honestly do. I think tonight we will win tonight's ball game. But the next two games are going to be, you're going to have to manage. Dave Roberts, if anyone knows Dave Roberts out there, you tell him he's going to have to really suck it up and do some managing and do something different. Mix it up. And in the Padres series, there was a couple double steals, a couple hit and runs that I was shocked.
Yeah, the Corey Seager and Mookie Betts. Yeah.
Right. He usually sits back and lets everything develop. Whatever happens, everybody swing away. He actually ran some offensive plays to generate some offense, try to get some runs. And that's what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to really choose different parts. And like we talked to people about bunting before, not everybody can bunt. So you're going to have to figure out which guys are going to be able to lay down a bunt, move a runner over. You got a leadoff double. You're in a tight game. Lay the bunt down, get them to third, sacrifice fly, score a run. Do whatever you can to score, scratch. We call it to scratch. Do whatever you can to scratch, get up on that scoreboard, and put pressure on the Atlanta defense. And that's the game. I mean, come on, Dave Roberts. They're paying you all this money. Do something. And I have a friend that really always gives me a hard time. Why are you on David Roberts so much? How do you? It's very simple. Because you have the players to win. If you have the pieces, if you have the best players, you should win.
Mm-hmm.
What's holding you back? Strategy, the ability to see what's going on in the field and making an adjustment. That's what's holding the Dodgers back.
I'm disappointed, not in the Dodgers, not in the offense, not in Kershaw. I'm disappointed in myself. I'm disappointed in the fact that for the 8th time, I fell for this ruse. I've been bamboozled. I've been lied to again. I'm disappointed in myself. Like, I should have seen this coming, but again, it's during the regular season, March, we're like, let's go Dodgers. It's time for Dodger baseball. We're excited. Hell yeah, Dodgers new season. It's our year. Let's get it. Yeah. Then we're like in June, July, All-Star break. We got 5 Dodgers, 6 Dodgers, 7 Dodgers in the All-Star game. They're performing best record in baseball, best ERA, best hitting, all that stuff. The stats speak for themselves. They beat everybody. Then come September, we won the West. We're the 8th consecutive National League West Division champ, blah, 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 blah. Then come October, fuck the Dodgers.
Repeat. God rest my father-in-law's soul, Albert Rivera Sr. May he rest in peace, my father-in-law. But he'd say to me, Mike, the Dodgers is El Foldo. And I'd say, what are you talking about, Pops? El Foldo. They fold in September. October, they fold. I said, come on, man, give them a break. They're gonna win. In '88, they won, and that was. But over in the '90s and early in the 2000s, he'd always give me a hard time because I'm a huge Dodger fan, and he'd say, "Your team's gonna fold again, like a folding chair." He'd say.
We would not honestly right now if the Dodgers were in this situation, but 2017 didn't happen the way it happened where we got cheated. Right. I would be okay with it. 2018 as well. If we had 2 championships right now, I'd be like, hey, this Dodger team, yes, they won 8 consecutive and they're 2-time back-to-back champions. I get it. Maybe they will bring it back and I wouldn't be so stressed. I wouldn't be so frustrated because we're now going into 33 years of a drought. And we just saw the Lakers win a championship for the first time after being trashed for 7 years. So I wouldn't be upset if 2017 went our way. 2018 also went our way. I wouldn't be in this situation. But since we're in a situation where obviously we got cheated, obviously we're stressed, obviously we're frustrated, and we're about to see them suck it again.
Yeah, it shows to tell you that the Lakers run this city.
Yeah,
the Lakers by far are they run Los Angeles. Yeah. They're the professional.
I used to have the Dodgers here, and then the Lakers. It was Lakers, Dodgers. It was interchangeable.
The reason the Dodgers were so popular for so many years is because in '65, and in the '60s and '70s, basketball wasn't very popular. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until the '80s where Magic Johnson and Kareem and Worthy, Showtime Lakers came and they started winning championships. Yep. And the Dodgers before that, their last championship was '81, and then they won in '88. Yeah. So in the '80s, it was like Lakers or Dodgers. They were hand in hand, one and the same.
Yeah.
But in the '90s,
it was still Lakers.
The Lakers are still playing great basketball with the Dodgers.
And baseball, they had those strikes. They had those bad couple of seasons for the Dodgers, and you had Fox come in. A whole lot of things happened for the Dodgers in a bad way. I get it. Magic Johnson got AIDS, and we traded Vlade Divac for Kobe, who was a nobody back then. We didn't know what it was. So things happen, but I see the transition.
And then we didn't have football. I mean,
the
Rams leave, the Raiders leave. We have no football, so everybody gravitates to either UCLA or USC.
Yep.
And I've been asked, who's your team, SC or UCLA? My team is Cal State LA. That's where I graduated from. I didn't graduate from USC or UCLA. I have no alliance to either one of those teams. I know that the basketball teams with John Wooden in the 60s were phenomenal.
Yep.
And, of course, Reggie Miller and them. And then SC had some of the greatest football teams.
Yep.
I know that for a fact because that's history. But I'm more of a pro guy. I like to watch college football. I like to watch college basketball. Baseball wasn't really on TV, so it was the major sports teams in Los Angeles who I follow. But right now, we just agreed on that, the Lakers run this town.
Yeah.
The Lakers run this city, and the Dodgers are. That's right. You got your hat.
Yes,
I have mine. I ordered mine. It's coming in the mail.
It's nice, man. Look, I wear fitted hats. I don't like snapbacks. This is the first
Right.
snapback I made an exception for. It's just very nice.
Yeah, because that's the only one they have, the snapback.
Yeah, but
right?
it's very nice. Like, I like everything about it. The gold, this trophy right
Yeah,
here. It's
that's
just
the one
nice.
that was online. I bought mine that night when we won the championship, and I haven't checked my mail yet, so I should go out there and check it.
Let's address this thing from one of our guys that commented, Steven DeHaro. So he's asking, would we be opposed to bringing Mike Scioscia to be the manager for the Dodgers? I personally love and I would welcome Mike Scioscia.
I love Mike Scioscia. You know, when Mike Scioscia went to the Angels,
Yep.
he took Mickey Hatcher, Alfredo Griffith, and Devo Ebel to the Angels,
Mm-hmm.
and they won a world championship in 2002.
Yes, sir.
That Angel team,
Mm-hmm.
and they were driven by former Dodger players who played under Tommy Lasorda.
Mm-hmm.
Now the argument is, well, he didn't win any, but just his winning percentage was lousy after a while. Well, the Angels have a shit organization.
Yes, let's
They
address
had no
that.
pitch. They had no pitching.
Yes.
They went ahead and got who was that drug addict that played center field for him? That guy that pplayed for Texas. They gave him a lot of money.
Hamilton.
Hamilton. They gave him a shitload of money, and he wasn't worth it.
They traded him to Texas, and he did well. That was like, I'm not an Angel fan, but I felt disrespected. Like, they paid him, he
Right.
sucked, and then he goes to Texas, back to where he was, and he performs well over there. It was like, bro, what the fuck? Like, how you do Angels like that?
Yeah, and then Artie buys them, and they started to develop some players, but still they gave Pujols too much money. I mean, they didn't do well. They weren't smart in spending their money and getting talent.
So here's the thing. So Mike Scioscia isn't even all that bad. He had 18 years with the Angels organization. He's the most winningest coach for the Angels. And here's the thing. 7 of the 18 years were under 500. The last 4 years, only 3 of them were losing seasons. So if you think about it, the last 4 of those were losing season. That's with Mike Trout. That was the trash that he was given. You look at that starting rotation, there was no talent in that team.
There was no pitching. You had no bullpen. Exactly. You had nothing.
Exactly.
What could Mike Scioscia do with the Dodgers pitching staff?
Exactly. The only exception was 2014 when they made the playoffs. But in Mike Trout's tenure, while Mike Scioscia was there from 2011 to 2017, 5 of those were under 500 seasons. So
right.
He worked with whatever he could and what was given. I mean, you look at the team now. Who do they have? Joe Madden. Joe Madden won a championship with the Cubs, and now we're starting to see that he can't really
talent.
win.
You gotta have a manager, but you gotta have talent.
Exactly.
The players win or lose a ball game.
Exactly.
And you got to get the best. A good manager gets the best out of the talent.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you win.
And
that's how you win.
He has the eye. He even knowing himself, he knew that he didn't have a great team. He still willed this team to only lose by 2. Like, out of all those losing seasons, the last 3 seasons, he was only out of 500 by 2 games. Like, he could have easily been at 500 if not for 2 games. And given the team that he was given, like, he would be a phenomenal coach for the Dodgers. I mean, Dave Roberts was gifted. To put it into perspective, he was given the Golden State Warriors, the 73-9 Warriors. And right now, the Atlanta Braves are the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Bro, Dave Roberts was given the 73-9 Warriors with Kevin Durant. Mookie Betts is Kevin Durant. And here you have him giving up that 3-1 lead to the Braves.
Right.
So
exactly,
this is pathetic. Honestly, that's why I'm disappointed in myself. Like, I saw this from a mile away, and I told myself, look, you're gonna get heartbroken. And I still, the hype, the Dodgers are in the playoffs. We gotta support. We love the Dodgers and all that. And then here we are again, heartbroken.
Well,
frustrated.
I think, like I said, there is always hope as long as there's an out or a strike left in the game. And even though it's a we're down 3-1, 7-game series. Like I said, I think tonight we'll win because of the bullpen game. But the next 2 games are going to be the tests for the Dodgers if they really want to win. And what can they do to get us to turn this series around? Tonight's a good start. I mean, to go ahead and win this game if they could pull it off, and I think they will. Tomorrow will be a new day, but we got to deal with tonight. One at bat at a time, one run at a time, one out at a time. And that's how you look at a baseball game. You don't look for tomorrow. You look at the moment.
Yeah,
what can you do right now?
Yeah, there's no time. There's no time limit. You're not in football where you have 4 quarters.
There's no time limit. You do what you need to do to get it done, and that's it. So we will see how it unfolds. How our Dodgers, what will happen with our Dodgers.
Well, look, I'm glad that you're confident in them winning today. What is this? They've gone...
Hey, that's all we have, though, Jay. Right? We can't. I'm not throwing in the towel. I don't throw in the towel till it's over. I never throw in the towel till it's over. I'm pissed. I'll vent, but I won't. I'm not giving up. So we'll see how it goes.
I'm demoralized.
And Dave Roberts, I still win, lose, or draw. I still don't like Dave Roberts.
Agreed. I agree with that.
We'll put it that way.
I could definitely
win, lose, or draw. I still don't like Dave Roberts.
Yeah.
I don't like his managing style. I don't like the moves he's made, and you could put that somewhere that'll never change. If they won the World Series, I would still not like Dave Roberts. I just don't like the way he manages. That's the way I feel about it.
No, yeah, I feel the same way. The year that they were looking for a new head coach, the options, I think it boiled down to Dave Roberts and Gabe Kapler. Seeing it now, Gabe Kapler went to the Phillies, didn't work out there, and he had Bryce Harper. He had he had a good supporting cast. Gene Segura. There were some good players with that Phillies.
Yeah, there were some good players on that Phillies.
Didn't work out. He's in San Francisco. It's not working out. But then again, San Francisco doesn't really have anything. They don't have a farm system. Right. They don't have any talent right now. It's just a shit show over there. So Gabe Kapler, kind of, I guess we avoided a bullet there, I guess. But now with Dave Roberts, it's not like it was any better. We've seen him already. I'll give him the blame for a couple of things. Main things are Game 2 of the World Series, pulling Rich Hill. Game 7, going with Yu Darvish. Even though the report earlier this year, he came out and said that Yu Darvish told Dave Roberts, "Hey, I don't want to go out there. I don't feel comfortable going out there." And Dave Roberts willed him and pushed him to come out to Game 7. So I blame him for that. I also blame him for 2018 going to Kershaw and keeping him out there. The same situation like he did yesterday. Left him out for too long, let him out to die, and all that happened. And most importantly, the biggest thing that I blame him for is 2019, bringing Kershaw out of the pen. Not because he came out of the pen, but because he went back to him in the 8th inning and he got fucked by Rendon and Soto rather than going to Adam Kolarek. And he can't even say that there was an excuse of the 3-batter minimum rule yet. That didn't exist yet. So he could have flipped out Kershaw and said, "You're done. Good job. Congratulations. We're going to the World Series. Thank you so much. Oh, no, we're going to the NLCS. Thank you so much for participating. Appreciate you, Kershaw. But we're going to Kolarek, who's already shut down Juan Soto and Rendon. So thank you so much, Kershaw." That's it. But this is on Dave Roberts. This solely rests on Dave Roberts. 2019 is on Dave Roberts. 2017 Rich Hill Game 2 and Game 7 is on Dave Roberts. And now this whole shit show that's going on is on him. That's what I'm blaming him for. So
I hope we could pull this out, Jay. I know we could. I have a lot of confidence in tonight's game.
I know. I can sense it. I
have a lot of confidence in tonight's game. I think we're going to come out and do some good things tonight.
Yeah.
Now, the next 2 games after that.
The last thing I want anybody to experience is we all see a win today, and let's say it's another one of those 15-run wins. And then tomorrow we're all, they're coming back from a 3-1 deficit. Hell yeah, we're going to win. We're going to go back to the World Series, blah, blah, blah. And then they shit the bed again. They get one hit the entire Game 7 or Game 6.
Yeah, that first inning when they scored 11 runs,
It was amazing.
I talked to my son and I said, you know what? They need to save some of that for tomorrow.
Agreed.
That's another thing that in baseball, when you embarrass somebody, or you're playing baseball or softball, and you put up a ton of runs, there's a old wise tale or a superstition that the next game's going to be a battle, because for whatever reason they say hitting is contagious. It is contagious in that game, but the next day you seem to come out a little flat, and we saw that yesterday with the Dodgers. There's one thing I don't like about these games back to back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that if you could play a 7-game series normally, then you'd have a day or two to rest and get yourself together, get some extra batting practice in, tweak a little thing, work with the coaches or whatever. There's no it's just boom, 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 boom. So the Dodgers going to have to get off their asses and just hit the ball, do what they know, what they do best is score runs, and it doesn't have to be a home run. Robert's going to have to talk to some of these guys and say, hey, we're going to manufacture some runs. Yeah. We're going to do what we can to get us some runs.
Yeah, and then
so that's pretty much what I think about tonight's ball game.
Houston.
How about them Rams, Jay?
Houston, real quick. Houston is gonna get a Game 7.
Well, yeah,
there's no way. A home run. There's no way. God loves us because, come on, really? Come on, really? You're gonna do this to us?
Yeah, well, go Rams.
I guess so. Yeah, let's talk about the Rams. Let's switch it up to something positive. Rams are 4-1. They're facing off against who and what's going on? What are the plans?
We play the 49ers up in San Francisco. My concern with the NFL is that we're not going to finish the season.
Yeah, you're seeing it now.
And the news out of New England today, they closed down the Patriots training facility. They closed everything down because someone else came up with COVID.
I saw that.
And so the East Coast, it's just the politics that are involved in our country with this pandemic. Like I said previously, the NFL did not think this out. They just wanted to make a quick buck. And getting the teams on the field was the fastest way to get television revenues and the like. And whatever they can get from the players, it wasn't thought out. The Rams are going to travel. If they play, they'll play tomorrow, hopefully Sunday in San Francisco.
Okay.
Then they got to travel to Miami the following week. That's almost 20,000 miles of travel since the beginning of the season. Think about that for a minute. They've gone to the East Coast 4 times, I think. So they're Buffalo, Philadelphia, Miami. I mean, come on. It's ridiculous.
Damn. Yeah.
So, yeah. And you don't need to do that. They could have done it logistically, have teams play in different regions.
Mm-hmm.
And this way there would be, some type of control, kind of like a bubble.
Yes.
But they didn't do that. They're flying people across country, living in planes and hotels. And there's a lot of moving parts with the NFL team. You got a lot of staff, trainers, coaches, players. So, I don't see the season playing out. I just don't see it. And I've talked to a lot of my buddies, guys who've seen sports over the years, and they come to the same agreement. We all come to the same conclusion. We're not going to finish the NFL season, but we'll have games this Sunday, and we'll see how the rest of it goes. But already the New England Patriots are pushed back a couple games. They've already had their bye because they had to close everything down because of COVID. Now they're going to do it again this Sunday.
It's not so easy with the NFL because that means it affects everybody. Because now the team they were playing, they have to reschedule for another week, and they got to make sure that they're available for that week. And then that opponent, it just becomes a shit show for them, and it's more expensive for them to have a bubble because each team has over 100 people, including coaches.
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
So
trainers.
You look at 30 teams times 100. You're looking at what, 30,000, 3,000.
Yeah.
I mean,
So how do you
out of
do it?
basketball.
How do they, they could have, but what I'm saying is they could have done it. They could have figured this out a lot better than having like our team, the Los Angeles Rams, travel cross country 3-4 times across the country.
Yeah.
Yeah. 19,000 some odd miles they'll be traveling after they go play in Miami. And then we're going to go into Miami, a hot zone of COVID-19. So it's just, I just don't see it. So once the baseball season's over and football gets put on hold, we'll be stuck again.
Yeah.
Without any sports.
Until March or no, until like maybe January when the NBA starts up again. But I don't think they're going to have a bubble. They're going to do the same. They're just going to open up again, but probably with no fans. But how would you feel with another, like, let's just assume, I mean, we're pretty wild right now with COVID, but would it make sense to shut down the country, like really shut it down at this point? Like, what can you really do?
We could not shut, if everybody wore a mask, if there was a mask mandate, I know in Burbank, they're giving fines, $100, $200, $300, $500.
Yeah. Glendale too. I remember Glendale has that too.
So if everybody wore a mask, then we would be okay.
Yes.
We could go on, we could do what we want to do. We could have sports. We could, kids could go to school, without fear of them coming and bringing it home to their parents or their grandparents. But we have to do our social distancing and masking. It's the new normal. And it's evident that the American people see what's going on through the polls on support of Joe Biden. He leads the presidential race by 10 points across the board. And it's just a smart thing to do. And knucklehead Trump has put us in this position, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care about you, don't care about me, he don't care about anybody but himself. So, as long as I've always said this, as long as I know where you stand on me, then I'm good. Because anything I do that's going to affect me, then it's on me.
Yeah.
Right? So if I feel that you're going to harm me in any way, financially or physically, and I still let my guard down, hey, that's on me.
Yeah.
It's not on you, right? So we all know where sports will stand after the baseball season. I probably would accept a shortened NFL season. There's 16 games, 17 weeks. I would accept a 12 game season.
So like
I would accept four less games and go into a playoff.
Okay.
I would do that. Because with all this COVID, shutting down a whole facility and then pushing a couple games. Hell, we might be playing football till July of next year.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it happened with basketball. It happened with basketball. We went a full year.
A full calendar year. Yeah. It was a full calendar year.
Yeah.
I remember watching the Lakers and the Clippers at a bar with my best friend Phil Ochoa. We were at a bar, and this was October of last year.
Yep.
So it's, the NFL has to be smarter. I know our Rams look really good.
Yep. They should be 5-0.
Offensively, they should have been 5-0. But hey, you can't turn back time.
No.
That's the way it is. We're 4-1. We could put the 40 whiners in their place this weekend. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to get his ass kicked by Aaron Donald. Is going to put a hurt.
Is he even going to be playing? Isn't he injured?
No. They took halftime. They took him out. They said his foot was bothering him. Mm. But I don't know if he's going to play. I'm assuming he will play.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming. Unless he just bitches punks out. Says, I don't want to play because of my foot. He's a gamer.
Yeah.
He'll come out. But he'll come out and he'll be put down by Aaron Donald.
As far as masks, I'm sorry to interrupt, but as far as masks go, I really don't see why it's so difficult to wear a mask. I was at the DMV today. My license is expiring on my birthday in a couple of days, and I had to wait 3 hours in the hot ass Van Nuys 100-degree weather sun with some tents. They had some tents out there to cover some people, but most of the time I was in the sun, and I was wearing my mask the entire time while I was in there and out there. So I don't understand why bitches complain about a mask when they go shopping, when they're in a store, or when they're even out for a couple of minutes. It's an inconvenience to them. But you have doctors, you have firemen, you have people that are legit wearing real heavy duty masks, including painters, construction workers, that really obstructs their breathing for hours. And you have bitch ass people complain for a couple of minutes of a mask. Like,
Well,
what is so difficult about wearing a mask for a couple of minutes? It does not make sense. That's why we as a society can't function, because people are just too selfish and too, how could I describe these people? Like, they're too
they are selfish.
privileged.
That's a good word for it. They're very selfish.
And privileged. Like, bro, like, relax with that shit. Like, you got to think about other people other than yourself. There's other people out
Right.
there that don't have the same immune system you do, that are either going through things physically, mentally, emotionally, and you are being selfish by not worrying about other people. You're just worried about your little inconvenience for a couple of minutes. Like, bro, relax with that shit. That's why we can't have a social America where we can all be caring about each other. And that sucks. It really sucks. I think we'd be in a better position if everybody really stayed home and not partying, because there are some times where people were just partying in the middle of the pandemic when things were going up. People were partying, bars were open, everything was open. People were complaining about having restaurants open, eating, going to the theaters, all this stuff, Disneyland. People just complain. You had Orange County wanting beaches to open.
Right.
Like, it just doesn't make sense why we can't take responsibility right now. Right now, we'd have everything clear and good if we had just stayed locked in.
I never thought in my life I would see politics affect my sports teams. And that's what it's done. The politics of the country has affected my love of all of the major sports, football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, friggin' tennis, everything.
Yeah.
It's a swimming, golf, everything. It's affected everything. And I was talking to my brother-in-law today, and I told him, I said, hey, he's a big golfer. I said, you think Tiger? When are they playing the Masters? And he says, well, they're playing it in December. I said, December?
Damn.
Because yeah. I said, well, what's the weather going to be like in December in Augusta, Georgia? So it's a whole different game now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's totally different.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't. Everything's ass backwards, Jay. It's ass backwards. We're gonna hopefully get through this baseball season.
Yeah, we're about to.
Hopefully, and then, like I said, I hope they restructure the football season, so everybody's able to. We come up with a championship and playoffs and a Super Bowl, and I hope it doesn't go into July of next year. It's and you see a lot of analysts on ESPN and Fox and all these other. They're concerned.
Yeah.
They play it off, kinda, and then they'll touch on it, and then they'll move on to the statistics and who's hurt and who's injured and everything else. But they are definitely concerned what's going to happen in the future of the NFL. So
you look at that time when there was literally no sports going on. They had nothing to talk about. They had nothing going on. Everything was just imagination, just trying to figure out things. And then thank God for the Michael Jordan documentary, The Last Dance. Like, that kept people distracted for a minute. But other than that, it was like, let's talk about The Last Dance on ESPN. Oh, what did you think about The Last Dance? Like, that's pretty much all it was. Like, that's all we had. There was nothing going on for 3 months.
It kind of, I tip my cap to the NBA and what they did. To we were able to get a champion out of the Lakers, and hopefully we could get football figured out, because I would love to have a world championship Los Angeles Rams hat, also, and hopefully the Dodgers come through and come back and play a little better baseball.
Yeah,
So
that's what we
yeah,
hope for. That's what we're gonna hope for.
yeah,
Right now, what I'm seeing is the Boston Celtics. I mean, they're pretty quiet right now, but the Clippers and their fans are really, really crying. Like I'm seeing them really asking us to stop. I've been trolling Clippers and Celtics at like everywhere, because they were talking shit. They're the
yeah,
billboards,
right.
the ESPN analysts. Like you see all these teams come up, and I don't know if you noticed. There's this analyst. Her name's Jackie McMullen. When
From Boston,
Yes, so when
Jackie.
Luke Walton was fired, Tyronn Lue was considered for the coaching position, and Jackie McMullen really went at Ty Lue and said, what do you want? You want another coach LeBron? Do you want another, like, he's nobody, he's nothing, he can't help the Lakers, he's not gonna do anything for them, he's not a good fit for them. Like, he just trashed the Lakers and trashed Ty Lue. Now that he signed with the Clippers, all of a sudden Ty Lue is the second coming of Jesus to help the Clippers win a title. And you see all these I don't know if you know this term, but pulling the receipts out, meaning like we're gonna get
Right.
what you said in the past before, and I use it against you. Everybody's pulling the receipts out, and there was a moment where Brian Windhorst and Jackie McMullen were both asked, who do you think runs LA and who do you think is going to win the title between the Lakers and the Clippers, and they both said the Clippers. Windhorst, I remember Windhorst, and I have this video saved on my phone just so whenever I see both of them, I'm going to hit them with that. But
Yeah,
Windhorst said the Clippers because they have more dominant players and they have a deeper bench. And then Jackie McMullen went into Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are easier to plug into any team, and they're a better systematic team. They're going to be more preliminary, and they're going to be more effective. LeBron James is a ball hog. Anthony Davis, you can't plug him in with LeBron James. It's not going to work out. I mean, who's going to get the ball in crunch time? Who's going to win that game? And their bench, like their players, really? Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, like she went off and shit on the Lakers. Now all of a sudden, people are pulling the receipts on, and she's crying about it. Everybody's crying about it.
yeah. We got some action on the game.
Somebody throw? Somebody
Right. Somebody got hit by a pitch. We got a little action going on.
Oh, and you got runners on first and second now. Man, you know what? These Houston Astros, man, I swear to God, they're that little brother that always does shit to you, but the moment you retaliate, he goes crying to mom, and mom beats your ass instead of his. Like that's what I'm getting from. Look at this, Carlos Correa. Look at this. Oh my God,
He bumped into the umpire to get to his player.
I've got to meet Carlos Correa. I legit got to meet Carlos Correa. I've got to. I don't know when or how, but I have to. I'm done with Carlos Correa. I'm done with him.
Yeah, a lot of Clipper fans, and that's all over. That's Dusty's. Is that Dusty? Yeah.
Yep.
See, we could have had Dusty Baker. I like Dusty Baker.
I mean, he had.
I did.
Washington, he didn't do anything with them, and he had Scherzer, Strasburg. He had some good players with them. They didn't do anything. Then he also went to the Giants. He was there for a minute. Also didn't do anything. As soon as he left, they started winning. Dusty Baker started left, and the Giants won their 3 championships. And then Dusty Baker leads the Nationals, and they won their championship. So there's that. But I'm with you with Mike Scioscia, though. Grooming.
Yeah, Mike Scioscia, he's good, definitely could do so if he comes out of retirement.
Yeah, I don't think he's officially retired. I think he just stepped away from the game for a minute. But I'm pretty sure he's gonna look at this Dodger situation and say, "Hey, wait a minute. I can go back home and I can definitely improve and I can
bring him a championship."
Yeah.
The guy who won the NCLS with that home run against the Mets. Bring him back.
Yeah.
I always like catchers as managers.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Brad Ausmus is over there with Detroit Tigers.
Yeah. Because the catcher sees the field. He sees everything that's going on. And he's calling the game for the manager with signs, and he understands the game. Catchers, they have an edge. They always have. Good catchers become pretty good managers. So, I could see that. I could see Scioscia I would love to see Mike Scioscia in a Dodger uniform, and I would bet money that he would win a championship his first year with the talent that they have.
Yeah,
because he wouldn't take any bullshit.
Absolutely.
He would sit Cody Bellinger down. I really think Cody Bellinger, he had a great year last year, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
MVP,
Yep.
but it got to his head a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it got inside his head. How can I become better? What can I do to become better?
Man, he didn't
Change
have
his
to.
whole batting stance. That bullshit with the right leg and his foot in, cockeyed in the beginning of the season. I was like, what is he doing? So, Freddie Freeman reinvented himself. He cut down his swing so he makes more contact. I think Cody needs to cut down on his swing.
Yeah, he has a
And if he cuts
violent
down
swing.
huh?
He has a very violent swing. Like his swing comes full around where it twists his own body. It's gonna cause some
Yeah.
back problems later on.
Well, he needs to go the other way. If you're going the other way, then you slow down your swing a little bit. You don't swing so violently.
Mm-hmm.
You could swing violently if you see a nice fat pitch, but not every friggin' pitch swing from your heels. You got to learn how to hit for average, and I think that's what rounds out a player. Mookie Betts is a great example of that. He's had a bad series, Mookie, and I think he'll hopefully come out of it, and we'll see what happens. I mean, it's not up to us, Jay. We're just gonna have to sit and watch, and then
that's the worst thing too. Like we're just here, like we're taking the hits for them.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough thing. The next 3 days is going to be very painful, one way or the other, for either Atlanta fans or Dodger fans.
Oh my God!
Hopefully it'll be the Atlanta side.
Yeah, hopefully.
I'm looking forward to Sunday and the Rams beating the 49ers. My prediction: the Rams win by 17 points. 17. Mark it down. That they'll win by 17 points.
Okay.
So, we're gonna have a really good game this weekend.
17 points. So what do you think? 2 touchdowns and a field goal?
Yeah, they'll win by 2 touchdowns and a field goal. The defense will dominate, and the 49ers don't have much on offense anymore.
Yeah.
Moster's hurt. They lost their number 1 receiver. Garoppolo's throwing ducks to the secondary. It's gonna be ugly. The Rams are going to win big. The team that I'm concerned about in the NFC are the Seahawks. They're undefeated, and they're a good team. And Russell Wilson is he's really good. He knows how to win. You saw it last week. They won in their last drive. So, let's just keep on rolling. Let's just keep on playing. Hopefully we'll come ahead and win Sunday, the Rams, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Hopefully, let's see what tonight holds, Jay.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll talk about all this madness on Monday.
Like next week, I think subconsciously, I think the universe might have been telling me something. I don't know. For some reason, I didn't think about the World Series. My birthday's next week on Thursday. And I had planned out going to Yosemite without even realizing like the World Series is going to be happening. So I think some way, somehow, the universe is telling me, hey, look, kid, Dodgers aren't making it. Go to Yosemite. I really didn't think about like, oh, is the World Series going to be going on? What's going to
happen? You're going to be 33, Jay?
Yes, sir. 33.
So 33 was my badge number when we were issued shields in my department long ass time ago. I had the 33rd one.
Oh, nice. Is that like does that mean like you're the 33rd person to get it, or you
33rd person to get a shield?
Okay.
In my department, because we were in juvenile hall.
Damn.
And and of course, who else was number 33? Do you remember? Kareem. NBA all-time scorer, baby. No one's gonna break that. I'm sorry, LeBron, you're not gonna get that right.
Oh nah, he's gotta play till he's 40. He's definitely gotta play till he's 40.
He's gonna get a lot of them, but not that one. I got to meet Kareem last year.
Yeah.
Around this time, my wife worked for Barnes and Noble out in Irvine.
For that book Minecraft, right?
Right.
Yeah,
and I got to meet him.
I have it too. I met him too for that.
And he signed it, and he asked me, "What do I sign to?" I said, "To Papa Pugrad, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Nice.
Best wishes." And then he goes, "Papa Pugrad." I go, "That's me," because how you give him a piece of paper. I go, "This book's for my grandchildren. One of them's gonna get it."
Oh
And he
wow.
goes, "Oh, nice. That's nice. He's a real nice man.
Yeah, he is. He is. He is.
Real nice man."
Yeah, he is. He is. Hey, so real quick, so the Lakers' greatest of all time. The only I posted that picture out there. The only difference that you would have is AC Green
George,
would be replaced by Paul Gasol.
yeah. You got to put Paul in there.
Damn.
Without Paul, Kobe doesn't get those other two
I feel
championships.
you. I feel you on that. But then I also looked at I looked at everybody and I was like, I'm leaving Lamar Odom out. I'm leaving Derek Fisher out. I'm leaving Happy out. I'm leaving a lot of players from the
Yeah,
Lakers of
Hap
all time.
Harrison's not in there. George Mikan's in there,
Yeah,
right?
he is in there. He was the first person. I went by year. I looked at years and the production and all that. And I also looked at lists and what they brought and what they did and stuff like that. And I just looked at everything, and it was hard for me to not include Pau Gasol because yeah, he helped Kobe and he did his thing. He could also stretch the floor.
Right.
Um,
Without Powell, Kobe doesn't win those championships.
Derek Fisher. Once I started looking into him, I was like, damn, how can I
He
not
won
include
5
him?
rings with Kobe.
Yeah, but like he's second in most 3-pointers by a Laker.
Yeah, Fisher was automatic.
Mr. .04.
Mr. .04. Yeah,
So
I was watching that the other day. I had my kid come into the living room. I said, "Hey, you got to see this." And I said, "You don't know who Derek Fisher is?" And he goes, "No, Dad." I said, "You got to see this. And he's known for .04. Now watch this." He goes, "How do you get the shot off so fast?"
exactly.
I says, "You to catch and shoot is .04 seconds. It was mathematically determined. So if the clock shows .03 or .02, you can't get a shot off unless it's a tip in." So and he goes, "What does he mean?" I said, "Well, if the ball's torn towards the rim and you touch it and it goes into the basket, then that can happen. But you cannot physically catch it and shoot it."
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, Derek Fisher, great Laker. There's some great ones.
If anybody else wants to keep coming at the Lakers and call this an asterisk year because they didn't play enough games in the season and blah bubble blah blah blah, let's talk about the '99 Spurs who won their championship when it was a shortened season. How about that?
Right, I remember that.
If you guys are gonna say the Lakers championship doesn't count this year, then Tim Duncan only has 4 titles.
Right.
Which route do you want to take? Which route do you guys want to take? You want to take the Celtics have more titles because of the ABA, all that bullshit? Well, let's talk about the championships they really have. They only have 5 because that one title, the 12 titles was shared with 1 trophy. You want to talk about the fact that they haven't won a title in 12 years and they only had 1 title because Andrew Bynum was out? You want to talk about the Clippers who made it to 7 consecutive playoffs and the Lakers made their first one and won it all? What, like, all these fans keep coming at the Lakers and they ask later on, Laker fans are the worst. But we're just here playing defense and letting y'all hang yourself.
I don't worry about other fans. I know we have the best team in the world.
Absolutely.
And in that, when I say the world, I mean the world. You could go to you could go to Africa, the deepest part of Africa. They know who the Lakers are.
Yes.
They know who the Lakers are. You could go into Russia. They know who the Lakers are.
Mm-hmm.
Go to India. They know who the Lakers are.
Yeah.
Ask them if they know who the Clippers are. They'll say, "What? You want to cut my hair? You want to use your clippers to cut my hair?"
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You already know what's going on here. They haven't scored. Oh my god. Trash. Oh my god. Oh my god. The Rays. Oh my god. Yeah, man.
Going to Game 7. They're going to Game 7.
I dropped that. Anyways, but Mike, how's the family doing? How's everybody going?
Everyone's good. I got to spend the day with my sister, who I haven't seen in a while. We spent a few hours at the park. We sat in chairs. We wore our masks. I saw my brother-in-law, who I've known since 1971. We sat in chairs and we laughed and we talked about different things in our family. And he's a huge Laker fan. He's a huge Dodger fan. He's a huge Ram fan also. And we're just reminiscing about the past, talking about the future and the world, and just laughing and enjoying each other. And I came home and I told my son, I said, that felt normal. That felt kind of normal to sit with your Auntie Paula and your Uncle Joe and just to sit there and just enjoy each other for 2.5, 3 hours. And we had our social distancing. We sat in chairs in a park outside wearing masks. And that's how, I suggest everybody do that with their family.
See, what's so hard
People
about
who
it?
live at home, just go to a park. Go sit outside, sit in your chairs and talk. And it's tough not to hug someone, say goodbye, because that's where my family's big huggers. Big kiss, give someone a kiss on the cheek. That's how we show our affection.
Yeah.
And we have changed our entire world behind this madness. But it's not always going to be this way. It'll change. We'll get a hold of this. We'll put the right people in office, and things will change, and we'll get to some kind of normalcy. I can't wait to go to a ball game.
Same, man.
I can't wait to go to a football game, basketball game, or a baseball game, and just share my passion with my fellow fandoms, people who follow the teams I follow.
Yeah,
this right here, this is a good way of doing it.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, getting people to see and hear and also like interact. Like right now, they were asking questions. Getting those questions in and talk with the fans. And everybody's nervous right now. All the Dodger fans are nervous, rightfully so. This is crunch time. This is one of the worst things to be in, and it's great to talk. It's great to let it out. But you had a couple of family members that had COVID, stepbrothers, I believe, or a brother-in-law.
Yeah, my brother-in-law's sister, another person was hospitalized. So we have some family members that are hospitalized with COVID. Obviously, my story. My niece passed away 6 months. It's been 6 months since she's gone, and left her high school, a daughter, and her 3 sons. And her husband through COVID. So, and then I know other people on Facebook, people who have COVID, or my wife has a high school friend. She has the COVID Chronicles, and it talks about her everyday life. And she has all kinds of problems, physical problems from COVID. So yeah, it's very real, and people are dying, and we lose 800 and 900 people a day in the United States to COVID. So wear your mask, keep your social distancing. Hey, if you're gonna party and do and ignore everything, well, then stay the hell away from people who want to take care of themselves. Don't expose yourself to people who are wearing masks. Show some respect. Walk the other way. Hey, I can't tell everybody. We know what we got to do, and it's up to every individual to do what they think is right. And if you feel that you don't want to do it, well, then stay the hell away from people who do want to do it. Mm-hmm. That's my message. I can't. There are people that are never going to change. Yeah. They're going to do what the hell they want, and that's okay, because you're a grown ass adult, and you earned that right as an American. But stay the hell away from people who want to take care of themselves. That's the issue I have. Mm-hmm. Don't go into a store and without a mask. Don't, if you want to be around your friends, party and drink, act stupid, well, that's on you. But don't go around anybody else. That's my message, brother.
Yeah, it's not that hard to wear a mask. Just wear a fucking mask for a couple of minutes. You're not gonna fucking die from it. And I'm sick and tired of these Karens using supposedly some law about I have the right to breathe in O2, not CO2, like that. And then they threaten people, especially, it drives me up the walls when they start saying, I can sue you and your company for forcing me to wear a mask. Like, what? What are you going to sue me for? Like, I'm just, following a rule that's being mandated. Yeah, well, but it's not a law.
And it's really not mandated yet. In California, it's mandated per city. It's up to the individual cities to do what they need to do. Yeah. But across the country, it's not mandated. Trump is not mandated. But once Biden, after November 3rd, actually sometime in January, when Biden takes office, he's gonna put a mandate on it. So we just gonna have to, like I told my wife today, I said, and my sister were talking. I said, we've waited this long. We're doing this right now. We could wait another year. We could do this. This is something doable. We can do this. because I want to be around talking bullshitting with you for another 10, 15, 20 years.
Getting
Right,
frustrated
Jay?
again and over and over again.
That's it, man.
Absolutely. Oh, Mike. Oh, Mike. The Astros shitting on the Rays. Oh my God.
Well, brother, we can only do what we can. Hey, go
Take it.
Dodgers.
I
We're
guess.
gonna be all right.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm sick to the Lakers right now. I'm all Lakers. I'm gonna celebrate. I hate that my high for the championship went away because of the Dodgers, but it is
Yeah,
what
you
it
know
is.
that sucked. Boom, 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 right away.
It is what it
So,
is. But we'll
yep.
leave on a high note. It's a couple of minutes away from first pitch. Let everybody know where they can catch you.
Hey, you could catch me at OGLA Rams fan on Twitter or OGLA Rams fan on Instagram or Mike Pugrad on Facebook. Drop me a line. Let's talk sports. I'm always down to talk to somebody about sports.
Yes,
And
sir.
our teams, our LA teams.
Yes,
I love
sir.
LA.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So shout out to all those analysts and all the reporters and all those stupid ass people that chose the Clippers, chose the Bucks, chose the Celtics. And I remember there was an ESPN list that did not even include the Lakers and had Denver in their place. So shout out to all you idiots that just snubbed the Lakers. And you have Anthony Davis, who's going to come on back and run it back.
Coming back.
So
He's running it back.
Thank you, analysts. Thank you, ESPN, for giving people like me and Mike hope that if you guys can make it, there should be no reason why we can't make it. So with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Mike, thank you for being on. Appreciate you. And we'll catch you guys next time.
Horns up. Let's go Rams.
Oh, no. My computer froze. Oh, that's not a good sign. Can you still see me?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, my computer froze. I'm going to have to hard close it. All right, guys. We'll catch you next time. I'll call you
All right.
back.
I'll talk to you Monday.
Yeah, I'll text